Reba joins us up next in Amarillo. Reba, welcome to the show.
Hi.
Hey, how are you?
Oh, I'm a little nervous.
Don't be scared.
Oh, no.
It's just us, Reba.
We're not mean.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Ken Coleman's not here. Dr. John Deloney's not here. Just
Dave
the nice people.
definitely isn't here.
Dave's for sure not here.
This is a super nice show today.
What's going on?
Okay.
Reba, are you still there? Did she pass out?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh,
No.
goodness gracious. I thought we lost you. Okay. How can we help
I
today?
was waiting for a question or something.
Well, the question comes from you.
Oh.
How can we help?
Oh, the question. My husband is such a tightwad that we were supposed to go out with the congregation last night and break the feast for Yom Kippur, which is also called the Day of Atonement.
Yes.
For our belief. And when he showered and he got dressed, but then when it was time to go, I told him how much the meal was going to be, $9.99. Oh, he couldn't spend that much. So my question is, when is it okay to start having a little fun or spending a little money?
Reba, that's not your
taking your wife?
question. Your question is, how do I get my husband to stop being a tightwad?
Okay.
You know you can spend $9.99.
Yeah, well,
Are you guys?
'cause I did.
What's your situation, Reba? Give us how much debt do you have?
None.
None. How much do you have in savings?
None for me, but for him, I don't know if he'd want me to tell you, but he's got a little bank, a little wad.
Well, if he does, then you do, Reba. You both are married.
Do you have separate bank accounts?
No. Yes, I'm not allowed
Reba.
to be on his bank account.
Why?
No. Because he's a tightwad. I'm not allowed to do anything.
All right. So now we got
Time out,
the thing.
Reba.
Now we got it.
Reba works to support herself as a wife to Douglas.
Douglas and Reba.
Hold on. And you guys,
Man,
this is a
Reba.
married couple we're talking to.
How long have y'all been married, Reba?
We've been together for about 10 years, but only been married about 3.5, I believe it is.
Okay. So what is happening here is that you guys are not aligned. You're not working as a team. And what happens is even these small signs, of not having the same bank account, him not wanting to share with you, all of that, like what ends up happening is it ends up integrating into other parts of your marriage. And so it's big red flags in general that you guys could have a much more intimate, a much more dynamic, a much more deeper relationship if you guys trusted each other on all levels. And it doesn't sound like you do.
He doesn't. He had a bad ex, and I'm getting all the blame.
Okay.
Well, until he deals with this baggage, this marriage is going to continue to just be this weird, mediocre roommate situation. Would you agree?
Yeah, probably, because that's what it seems to be right now.
Yeah.
Can this old dog learn new tricks, Reba? Can we get him to go through Financial Peace University with you, to maybe get some counseling together?
I don't know.
Okay, you said
I tried to get him to go to counseling, and I haven't been successful yet.
Okay. What spiritual affiliation are you guys? You said the Day of Atonement, all of that is.
This is Messianic.
Okay. Yep. Okay, so I would get. Do you guys? Is it a rabbi you have or a pastor, Messianic Jew? I mean, I'm familiar with that, but who
rabbi?
Yeah.
Well, we have people in the congregation, couples that take turns doing a lesson. We don't actually have a rabbi up front.
Okay. Well, I was going to say, just getting with someone. I mean, you guys have a spiritual community. That's why I leaned that way first. But even just good, good marriage, counseling or therapy. Which, again, he's a adult, so he's going to decide if he wants to go or not. But I think one of the best things that you can do, Reba, though, is have a conversation with him and tell him how you're feeling and why you're feeling the ways you're feeling. And so just saying, like, I feel like we're not enjoying life. I feel like things are so separate because they are when it comes to our money. And here's what I want. Like, here's the vision I want for our marriage. Here's what I long to be as your wife. Here's what I want as a husband. Here's what this looks like for me, and why I want that. I want stability. I want to be able to do this life together and be a team. When we took vows, what was it, 3.5 years ago, that this is what I'm looking for and what I really want from you. So tell me what you're hearing, and have this conversation back and forth. But I would really have a heart-to-heart, a serious conversation with him that's more than just the money, and more than just he won't spend $9.99 on a meal. This is going deeper. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Because I want that
I feel that way.
Okay. Yep. So, and I want this for you guys.
Thank you. I do too. But it's been a battle. It's been a long uphill battle.
I hear that.
Well, especially when there's, past trauma and exes, and this is how I grew up experiencing money, and now you're very tight-fisted with it because you don't want to get hurt again. And so that's where he seems to be coming from, which is understandable, but we can't keep living that way. And
you shouldn't pay the price for what had happened in the past either. Do you know what I mean? So,
yes.
So I think you guys have some real heart-to-heart conversations coming up soon. And that's what I would encourage. And then if there's any way for him to love you as his wife and just say, as my husband, will you please sit down and watch this first video? We're going to send you Financial Peace University. So hang on the line. Reba and Austin will pick up. And you guys even just sit down and watch the first 1 or 2 videos together. That'll jumpstart you on the financial side. But if you can get him to get a third party involved, to sit down and just have some good marriage counseling, marriage therapy, I think is one of the best things ever, because they are able, a good therapist will be able to dig underneath the surface of all of this, ask you good questions. There's a lot of self-reflection and understanding why I'm doing the things I'm doing, and it's just healthy. So if you're able to do that, I think it's a real gift.
Absolutely. And if he's unwilling to watch 45 minutes of a lesson of Financial Peace University, then I think we need to take those more drastic measures and go, listen, I cannot continue like this being roommates. I signed up for this because I want to become one, to have this level of intimacy and relationship, and money is just a symptom of so much else going on there.
And Reba, don't say, oh my God, what was his name?
Douglas.
Don't say, Douglas, you're a cheapwad, and I think you need to watch this video, right? We don't go after it with insults or with sarcasm or anything. Truly, with your heart as his wife, being as honest and as vulnerable as you can be with him is a great place to start that conversation, because it can be easy to point fingers and nag and, be like, and roll the eyes.
It's one thing when you're, 21 and getting married and this is all new. It's another when you're older and you're in a different season of life and you have all this baggage that you never really dealt with, and now you're just hanging on to it all. That's a much harder thing to unpack. And because there's just decades and decades of this trauma that you haven't dealt with. I'm also going to throw in a copy of Own Your Past, Change Your Future, along with Financial Peace University. That's our friend Dr. John Deloney's book, and I think a lot of this has to do with his past. And until we deal with that, it's going to be hard to affect our future positively. So hang on the line, Reba, and we will make sure to gift you that book. John was just in the control room. We should have just had him jump in here.
I know, right?
On the phone with Reba for fun.
And here's what's fascinating always about this show and this topic, George, of money is money problems are never money problems. It's never what ends up happening, right? We think that, it's an issue here and he won't spend the money. But under a lot of money problems is life stuff happening. And getting to the root system is so important, because money just magnifies, right, who we are. It amplifies who we are. And that's what it does. And so you got to figure out at the root of who am I and what is this amplifying. And so it's important work to do.
Yeah. We can't just look at the external surface issues. There's always something bubbling underneath, and we got to deal with that. But it's so, so worth it. And we hear this with Debt-Free Screams on the stage. We try to get our money right, and all of a sudden, our marriage improved. And there's a direct correlation there, because you have to deal with things like communication and values and how we operate when it comes to money. So do this stuff. It's so worth it. We're cheering you on, Reba.